Welcome to the Engage podcast, brought to you by Boodle, the most rewarding way to pay. If you haven't already, get onto the App Store and download Boodle. That's Boodil. The Engage podcast is where we speak to some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs and business leaders. In this episode, we are joined by one of the hardest working guys we have had the pleasure of meeting, Bav Majithia. Bav is the co-owner of Yiannamize, a group that does everything from car wrapping, prize giveaways to content production. Bav has an illustrious career, starting out his working life in phone shops to leading a sales team selling handheld mobile phone devices before he set up his first business in the recycled and refurbished mobile phone sector, a business which was featured in the Sunday Times Fast Track 100 numerous times. After this, he set up Yiannamize, an energy drinks business called Mental Energy, a marketing agency, and he even found time to buy a business which was turning over 80 million a year called Ideal World TV, which he later sold to the Frasers Group. This episode has everything that you want to hear from a successful entrepreneur, from getting forced out of his business, acquiring and selling a company, all the way through to his passion for cars. Please strap in and enjoy the episode. Yeah, so thanks very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant to have you here. So we kick things off asking one impactful question, and that is, what is the biggest challenge that you've faced in your career?
My biggest challenge, I would say, was 2019. October the 9th at 3:30. That's when my biggest challenge started. I'd built a business up over years, and at that point it came to a stop. Okay. My business partner at that time, for whatever reason, decided we weren't going to continue, and he said, "You've got to go." And I'd had enough by then, so I picked up my bag and I left.
Wow. Sorry to interject, when you say we're not going to continue, you're not going to continue as a partnership, or you're not going to continue as a business?
As a partnership.
Okay.
We were having struggles 2 years prior to that. There was a lot of underlining factors. 29, it came to a head, and you can imagine. So I'm running a business. I've got 120 staff, your emails, 200, 300, 400 emails, your phone's going off the chart. And all of a sudden, like that, it's gone.
Wow.
Right? It's a mental, it's a mindset, it's a challenge, because it's something you've done all your life. It's something you've done all day, every day. Then all of a sudden you go, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
I struggled. I struggled mentally because it's a big change. Had I done the right thing? Should I have done different things? You start questioning everything you could potentially do.
A million things going through your head.
Oh yeah, listen, have you thrown the baby out with the bathwater? You're sitting there going, what have I done? How could I have done things differently? And look, I say the last couple of years prior to that were a bit of a struggle. We had some great days, we had some great times. We had, it was amazing. The journey was amazing. It's just a shame it came to that. But out the back of that, it changed who I was as a person in a big way. When I was in that environment, I've explained this before, and I try and explain it. So let's say, for example, you're going home, and every night you go home and your wife tells you, you say to your wife, you've not cleaned up, your cooking's rubbish, you haven't done this, and you keep badgering her, right? Every day. On a Friday,
it sounds like my life.
So if you're that guy and you're being that negative and it's a toxic environment, don't be surprised on a Friday night in the middle of in any given week, she's packed her bags and she's at the door and she's gone, I'm that crap, I'm off. The thing is, my life changed. It changed for the better. It opened up my eyes. There's certain things that I was restricted in doing from what we were doing, and although I had an amazing network, my network just grew tenfold as soon as I sort of got my head straight, put my head above the parapet, and gone okay, and started talking to people. It's amazing, I can only describe it as and someone else said it to me. He goes, you know, you've had that friend at school who was going out with a girl and she was really not good for him, but you really can't tell him too much because otherwise he'll just end up not being your friend.
Yeah.
But when he's come to his own senses and he's got rid of her, and then you go, I knew she weren't good for you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but I didn't want to say too much. And then you build that relationship. And I spent 6 months building my relationship with various people, family, friends. Through those dark days, I had 2 very good close friends that I've known for absolutely years that helped me through it. They were my sounding board because it's emotion.
Yeah.
You know, it's all emotion. It's like breaking up. It's emotion. It's no different.
I can imagine.
You know, you're thinking of what you should and shouldn't think. I'm thinking of my family, thinking of long term, looking at what we're doing. So yeah, it was a journey. To say the least. Yeah.
Amazing. So we'll go back into that in a bit more detail later on. So let's go back to the very start of the story. Who is Bav? What is your upbringing?
Yeah.
Your early days to what led you to be this entrepreneur that you are today.
So born and bred in Leicester, and my mum and dad own a shop.
Nice.
Okay, so no silver spoons, no private school education. I'd have to get up and help do the paper rounds and stand in the shop and go to the cash and carry. That was me.
So is it like a local newsagent store? Is it?
Yeah, it's a local grocer's newsagent, does the whole thing. My mum and dad, they bought it when I was 6. You know, so that's all I knew.
Yeah.
My mum and dad worked like every morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 days a week, all day, every day, no holidays, nothing.
Just graft.
Christmas Day you get off, but only half a day.
Half a day.
Half a day Christmas Day. But that's all they did, and that's I feel I'm a product of my environment from where I was growing up. I was always a bit of a jack the lag. I didn't warm to books. I didn't like education. I like learning, but I didn't like the traditional form of education. Done my GCSEs badly, did them again, then did my A-levels, and then I started working.
Yeah. And your first job,
mobile phone shop.
Okay, was it not the pie factory?
That's a summer job. So that was my summer job. So in the summer, in between GCSEs and A-levels, my mate comes around and goes, I've got an amazing opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. I've got a job at the pie factory.
Nice.
Let's go. They're looking for more people. So yeah, summer jobs. I always worked. Yeah. So, you know, early years I worked in a shoe shop. I've worked in pie factories. I've worked in phone shops. I've just done I've done everything in that sense. I've never stopped and stood still. And I've always worked and I've always earned money and I've always felt the need. So after I'd done my A-levels, which I knew I didn't do particularly well, and even my year head asked me to leave before I did my exams and said, go and get yourself a job before everyone else does.
Get a head start.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Really?
He put me to one side. He says, I don't think this is for you. He says, I think you need to go and get yourself a job now before everyone else starts looking. And I'm thinking, I'm having great fun. This is like a social environment. I'm cool. But yeah, I sort of, I did them and I was working in between and I thought I'll take a gap year. But I just got sucked into work.
Okay. And where was that? Where were you working then?
I was working in Leicester, phone shop in Leicester. So I'd done 2 stints. But then also I had what you would probably call now a side hustle. My side hustle being I was also selling, because phones those days weren't like like today. Today everyone gets a phone, right? Yeah. It's just a byproduct of life. People don't have a landline these days, they just have a mobile phone. So for me, then, it was if you sold a phone, you got paid well. And the right people were buying phones for the right reasons. It wasn't just anyone, it was business people, whatever. So while I was working in a phone shop, I also had my side hustle, which I would say when people used to come to me personally, go, I need a phone. I go, yeah, I'll deal with that. And I'd go and connect a phone for them, get the commission. So I was very entrepreneurial sort of stuff then anyway. And I had an opportunity to open up my own business in doing that. But I thought I just didn't want the hassle at the time. I was earning good money and I was enjoying what I was doing. And then my girlfriend at the time saw an advert in the paper.
Okay.
In the Guardian.
Nice.
Mobile phone salespeople required. I thought, she goes, look, you should go for this.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but it's in London. She went, yeah, look, go for it. So I drove down to Southgate. and this is in 1995.
Okay, nice.
And lo and behold, I went for an interview with a guy called Adam, who was the sales manager at the time, and got the job. Well, I'd done the interview, went back in my car. He came back and knocked on the window and go, "Can we have another chat? The director wants to have a word." I got the job. This is like Wednesday, I think it was. "Can you start on Monday?"
Wow. And you're Leicester, and this is
Leicester.
London. Wow.
So my mum's rang her sister, who lives in Edgware, and she said, "Funnily enough, my flat's empty. It's empty. You can have it for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, or whatever."
Wow.
So I slept on the floor for 6 months and got this job, and it was £8,000 salary
Oh, for the year?
for the year.
Wow, I thought you were going to say a month then.
No,
I was like,
no,
it's a lot of money.
It was. I was on £100 a week before, so
Okay.
this is 95, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought I was doing well, and obviously that's when I was doing other stuff. This was £8,000 salary plus commission. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, I've got to give this a go because I've turned up and there's guys there, there's nice cars in the car park. So something's going right. They're doing something right. So I joined Monday morning.
And what business was that called? What was it called?
It was called, at the time, it was called Digital Cell Phones.
Okay.
And what we did is, at the time, the network was one-to-one.
Mm-hmm. I remember them.
One-to-one, which is now T-Mobile. And we were selling phones for one-to-one.
Okay.
So if you rang one-to-one, that would come to us.
Nice.
So we were sort of their biggest reseller. And we were advertising everywhere. And we were selling mobile phones to the public. And our USP was, if you rang us up and said, "I'd like to buy a mobile phone," and you've got to bear in mind one-to-one at that time was in the M25. If you rang up and said, "I'd like to buy a mobile phone," we'd sell you a phone on the phone, and we'd say, "The driver will be with you in a couple of hours and he'll deliver your phone."
Wow.
So it gives you no chance to change your mind. He's at your doorstep. He's got your ID. He's copied your ID. He's got it. He's got your ID, and here's your phone.
Wow.
Within 2 hours.
That's amazing, that.
When I first started, we were doing 40 phones a day, and we had a handful of drivers, but we were paid by the networks very well to get customers. Okay. Now, it was a race to get the customer, right? So you had Orange and you had one-to-one.
Yeah.
One-to-one's network was expanding, and so was Orange's, and it was whoever got their customers first. We were with one-to-one, and they were like, "We'll just get more customers. We'll pay you more commission. Just get more customers. Get more customers." Because they realised very quickly is once you've got the customer, you're going to stick to it.
Yeah.
There wasn't, those days, you couldn't move your number. Mm-hmm. There was no, I want to move my number and I want to, here's my pack code. I get none of that. It was a headache. It was, you're with that's your mobile number, that's you, you're done.
Stuck.
You're done. Yeah. So I was there for, best part of 4 years, learnt a lot. I learnt a hell of a lot. Learnt about business. Mm-hmm. Russell was the owner. Very quickly, me and James became the sales managers, and we ran it with Russell the whole lot.
And what sort of size business was it at the time?
By that time, we were doing 1,000 phones a day.
Wow. And how many employees were roughly in the business then?
Just under 50, I think it was. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
So it's a good team, good sales team, and we were driving when we were. I wouldn't say it was like Wolf on Wall Street, but it was. We were hungry. We were hungry.
Yeah.
Someone rings up, wants a phone. You got to sell them that phone. Get that phone in their hands.
Yeah.
And we were paid handsomely to do so.
Nice.
And I guess that's where my passion for cars sort of kicked in even more. I mean, I was always into cars, but then my goal was always to buy a Porsche before I was 25. That was my goal.
Did you hit the goal?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't get what I wanted, but I got a Porsche. Okay. I ended up buying I wanted a 911, but it was way too much. But I ended up buying a Porsche Boxster before I was 25. That was my goal. So
amazing.
That's what I wanted to do.
Amazing. And out of curiosity, what was your first car then? What was your first car when you were in that job?
Well, I think my first car, other than the ones I used at my mum's, was a Ford Orion.
Oh, nice.
Okay, red Ford Orion, which I hit quite a few times.
There we go. Let's not talk about that.
I think I concentrated more on the radio than the road.
So let's talk about this business then, the learnings from that. I did hear as well one story which you've told before. The commission structure, sometimes not necessarily obviously paying people the commission, but also giving them incentives like holidays and TVs. Talk us through that sort of philosophy as well.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting.
Yeah, so when we had a sales team of 18 people, and you got to bear in mind, we were running, we'd start at 6 in the morning and we'd run till midnight. We were advertising on TV and all the newspapers. So we split the shifts, and you've got to keep people motivated. And you're taking good people away, unsociable hours that potentially have girlfriends, family, friends, and you have to be respectful for that. So as much as there was a shift system and they were earning good money, it's not just always about physical money. It's about how you make someone feel. And for us, one of the things Russell taught me is it's not just about what you give them in the pay packet, it's what you give them as an overall package. Now, today in the world, it's all about well-being, it's all about working from home, and it's the whole holistic view of working. Those days, it didn't work like that.
Yeah.
It didn't. So what we did is when we were doing commissions and stuff, and when we were doing incentives, we'd do things for not just the individual, but for them and their family. So we'd say, if you do X, I'll pay for your holiday. If you do Y, I'll help you get that car you want. Or here's a voucher, go and take your wife out for dinner. Or here's a voucher, go and that's for the weekend. You can have spend some time at a hotel.
Nice.
Because it was all about and one thing he taught me is we gave away a load of TVs. He said to me, he goes, we're going to do an incentive for the sales team, and if they hit their target, they all get a brand new TV. I went, but they'd rather have the cash. They don't want TV. Because nope, they're having TVs. So he goes, explain to me why. Explain to me why we should give TVs and not cash. He goes, let me explain it to you. So when that guy that works for us is sitting at home and his mates are all around on a Saturday and they're all watching the football, and he's got his brand new TV in the living room, and all his mates are going to go, that's a nice TV. Where'd you get that from? He's going to go, my boss gave it to me. Your boss gave you a TV? My boss didn't give me a TV. So you're reinforcing to them that it's a good place to work.
Yeah.
Subliminally, you're saying, mate, you're so lucky getting that job.
Yeah.
My boss don't even give me a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And that's the feedback we get.
Nice.
So when we go back, when someone goes home and says, oh, hi, darling, but it's been a long day, but I've got a £250 hotel voucher for this weekend. And she's gone, okay, it's a bit more palatable.
Yeah, I get it.
We do hampers for them.
Nice.
And we did everything around them in their lives. And we'd also, one of the things I did and I continued doing is looked at the individual's life goals. So if you said to me, actually, what I want to do is I want to buy a car, I'd sit down and go, this is how we're going to make you do it. Because if I can help you with your goal, you're going to help me with mine. And that's what we did. So throughout my career, I've had people work for me for 20, 25 years. And I've helped them houses, cars, savings, investments, whatever. Because I've sat down with them and go, what is it you need?
Yeah.
It's not just about throwing money at it. It's about helping them with the goal. Because everyone's got goals. Everyone has their own individual goals. No one sits there and goes, oh, well, I just want to plod on. There's nothing, and now there's nothing like a job for life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't happen. Yeah.
You got to sort of tune in and work it out.
I love it. Nice.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's really cool. So let's go. You've worked there, or you're working there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great company. Sounds like you're doing incredibly well there.
Yeah.
Why then did you decide there was the time to leave, and what was the next step after that?
I ticked every box, done it all, learnt everything. There was nothing else for me to learn, and I was hungry, and I want to learn. And I'd done everything, so I was at the top of the chain. There's only person above me was the owner, and that was it. Is that we'd done everything, and I got headhunted. Similar industry, mobile phone accessories, and they were in a very similar position. They were turning over £2 million, and they said, "Look, can you come in to the business and do what you did there again and grow this business?" And that's what I did.
And
so
how long? Sorry to interject. Were you at that company previously? Then.
So I was with Russell from 95 to 99.
Okay.
And then I moved into mobile phone accessories from 1999 to 2005.
Okay, nice.
So in that 6 years, we went from 2 million to 16 million a year.
Brilliant.
In mobile phone accessories. And it was, mobile phone accessories in those days was massive. It was huge business, because what it would do, and what the reason why I joined is because when I was working with Russell, if you rang me up and said, I want to buy a mobile phone, I tell you, here's the phone and everything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a car charger. I'm going to send you a case and a car holder. I'm going to send you a full accessories pack. And that's the company I went and worked for.
Okay.
Now, what I've done there is I'm now selling accessories. But I know everyone that sells phones.
Yeah.
So I've gone to all the people that sell phones and gone, I'm selling accessories now, so you need to buy all your accessories from me.
Nice.
These are thousands of packs, thousands a day. Because thousands of phones are being sold a day.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, well, I can sell you an accessory pack, which you need this because you're giving it away with the phone. Because you're making so much money selling the phone by giving me £4 or £5 for a pack. You're like, yeah, whatever. I'm making 150 quid for the phone. Yeah, whatever. If it keeps the customer happy and keeps the customer keeping the phone, I'll take it.
Wow.
So I went sort of not poacher gamekeeper, but I utilised my connections there to then sell them product that I was doing. I grew the business and it was 2005. I then called it a day. I'd done the same again. I've done everything. Everything was done, ticked all the boxes, learnt everything. And I thought at that point, and I just had my son, and at that point, I said to my wife now and said, look, I'm going to do property.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. We started buying some.
Yeah. So very quick, if you don't mind asking, what age were you roughly at this sort of time?
So that was 2005. So I'll let you do the maths. I'm 50 this year.
Okay, yeah.
Big 50.
Yeah, nice.
So I said to Lou, I said, I want to do property.
Okay.
I'm sort of done now.
Yeah.
What am I at? 33.
Yeah.
30,
and you've got your son is roughly how old at that age?
He's just born. Right?
Okay.
So he's just born. He's literally just born.
And you're deciding to pack it all in.
Yeah. I said, look, I'll do some. I said, well, I've earned a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've done really well. I'm in a fortunate position. I can call it a day. I want to invest and now put more money into property, which I'd started doing, and that's what I decided to do. And what had happened was I had a couple of parties. I had one because my son was born, so we were all, let's go out and have a party. And two, I'd left work and I'd sort of what I call semi-retired, and had another party. And then at that party, one of the guys comes to me who used to work for me, and he goes, we should do something together. I'm going to do something. I want you involved. I'm like, no, not interested. I'm not getting involved. He goes, no. I want to do accessories, but I want to do genuine accessories, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and with your help, we can do it, And I was like, okay. I said, well, I don't really want to work full time, but I don't mind bankrolling it and funding it. But that doesn't work. You get stuck in.
Yeah,
Everyone knows you. I had great friends in the industry. One of them said, look, because at the time, the car kits were big. Right?
Okay.
So, installing car kits. Our unit was next to one of the biggest installers in the country. My friend had the Nokia account. He went, you want Nokia car kits? He says, here's my account. Just buy what you want.
Wow.
Pretty
handy to contact him.
Because I had the money.
Yeah.
He said, I trust you. Here you go. Just do it. It was all about trust. And throughout my journey, and even today, I've always kept as many doors open as I can. And even to this week, I actually rang someone who I hadn't spoke to for, God knows, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's gone, where you been? How are you? Let's do something. So throughout that journey, from 2005 to 2019, we grew an absolute monster of a business. We became the recycling company for mobile phones and mobile phone accessories worldwide.
Wow.
Worldwide. We did it for everybody. Pan-European, North America, Canada, did it all. And we were one of the first to pioneer doing it.
Wow. Amazing.
So our focus was all recycling.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. You couldn't, what people didn't realise is, let's say you buy something from a shop, electronic, and you take it back. If it's something like a pair of headphones, you can't put them back on the shelf. They need to be checked, sanitised. More often than not, the retailers don't care. They go, I'll just chuck it.
Right, yeah.
So we've come in from a recycle element, also from a recycling element of a mobile phone.
Yeah.
So your phone is broken. They go, yeah, just replace it. But it's not broken beyond, what they deem something as, it's called beyond economical repair.
Okay.
So if you take your phone in into a major retailer. They go, oh yeah, okay. They're going to check it, and they go, it's too expensive to repair. At what cost? Their cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got big overheads.
Yeah.
We didn't. So we could put 2 broken phones and make a good one.
Oh, nice.
So we put them back into the market.
So what was the model there? Were you purchasing the broken phones from the retailers that had collected them, or how were you?
Both.
Okay.
So sometimes they would just send them.
Oh, wow.
And it was not just retail, it was at networks.
Yeah.
So Vodafone 3, O2, and all of them send us product. And they were like, do what you can. We trust you. Do what you can and give us some money back. Because other than that, it's just going in the bin.
Okay. So you would take these broken phones, fix them, whether it's 3 phones, putting them together to make one phone, sell that phone, and then what was the model arrangement? Did you have to give them a
kickback? So more often than not, they wanted that phone back.
Oh, right. Okay.
There was a shortage.
Oh, right.
Because they want it. Because if you have an insured phone, they don't often give you a brand new one. They give you a refurbished one. Yeah. So they want them back. So really, every deal we did was different. Mm-hmm. Sometimes a network would go, take this product and just pay us. We don't care. We don't want it back. Just pay us what you can get for it. And we would take either a calculated guess on how much it's worth, or we would go through the stock and then go, this is the real value. And some people would say, I'm going to give you this. Can you do what you can and give us back what you can? Because we really need the stock. Yeah. And we would charge them for that privilege. So every model was different. Okay. But one thing we did do is we were very good at what we did. Nice. We grew the business phenomenally. We were in the Sunday Times fast track very quickly.
So 3 times.
5.
5 times. Wow.
We did 5 times. Yeah.
Wow.
Hit the Sunday Times 5 times.
Wow. Amazing.
International growth, profit, sales, kept on going.
Yeah. So the model though that this guy came to you, accessories, mobile phone accessories, and obviously it's a bit of a pivot to the sort of recycling market, is it? I mean, when did the business transition? I mean, talk us through the sort of early years to
2007.
Okay.
What would happen? So when you see there's children in need, right? And they'd be charity bags, recycle your phone or donate your phone to charity.
Yeah.
This is 2007. Where was those phones were just becoming a mountain. Those accessories. So we worked with a company and they went, well, we've got all of this stock. We don't know what to do with it. Yeah. The best form of recycling is reuse.
Yeah.
So 2007 and the law changed. The WE directive came in. So the environmental agency says you just can't throw things in the bin anymore. Yeah. You've got to do things properly. So the WE directive was you got to do things properly. So I'm using that as a stick. So I'm going to a meeting going, you can't just throw it in the bin, you've got to give it to us. We'll do it properly.
Nice.
And we had all the legislation, we had all the certification, we did everything properly. And ironically, there's an element. So if you have a used product in Europe, for example, and you want to bring it to the UK, it's technically deemed as waste.
Okay.
Even if it's a used mobile phone, it's deemed as waste. So it's no different than moving a barrel of oil. A barrel of oil, right? You have to have the relevant licenses, insurances, and practices to bring that product over.
Wow.
Because it's deemed as waste.
Yeah.
And you have to have the relevant paperwork. So we set all this up, got it all right, and then stock came in, we'd recycle it, reprocess it, and then that's how we made a lot of our big turnover and changes.
Amazing. So during that journey then, there's did you say 16 years doing that?
Yeah.
About 16 years. So 16 years. So talk us through that sort of the period of growth for the business, some of the challenges along the way. If obviously you've mentioned one of the sort of challenges in the early on in the podcast, but along the way, what were some of the sort of challenges that you faced as that business?
People, the way things were run, and the way the market changed. You had to be dynamic and you had to stay on top of it. And this is probably one of the things that we collectively struggled with, but I did have ideas and things we needed to change. People would change the way things happen. The market changes, products changed. That's the big key, right? So we've gone from, someone like Nokia who's giving out a new phone every 5 minutes and a new phone comes out. And now all of a sudden, there's only two platforms. There's Android and there's Apple.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, the market's shrinking. The market's shrunk.
Yeah.
Now, there isn't 35, 40 different types of mobile phone manufacturers. Nokia's gone. Motorola's gone.
Yeah.
Sony Ericsson's gone. These people are all going. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hold on, what's out there? So you're left with things like Samsung, big player. You think, well, who else is it? Who are we? Not really. You know, all the other players are tiny. The Doros, you know, the big button phones. They're all tiny, right? So you've got Samsung on one side and Apple.
Yeah.
Huawei sort of started creeping in, and
Google maybe.
Google. But even then it wasn't Google. Google wasn't really there.
Okay.
So all of a sudden the market's changed because you've got to bear in mind, if there are more models and more phones, there's more change. So you're more likely to change, which means you're more likely to recycle or trade your phone in. There's more in the market. Now, you look at today, the iPhone 15 comes out in 2 months' time. That take-up will never be like it used to be. When there was an iPhone 10, 5 years ago, everyone was like, got to get a new phone because it's a big difference. This is prehistoric compared to this. Now there's not that much difference. And the price. So you're not feeding the used market.
Okay.
So these are all things that changed. Apple made a massive difference because before you'd have thousands of accessories, but Apple's same charger, same cable, same headphones. You know, the European law changed, so all the chargers for the phones are all the same. So the whole market started to adapt and change for the right reasons. I think accessories, Amazon made a massive dent.
Okay.
So
in the market,
a lot of our customers that we were selling accessories to did Amazon. Now Amazon are a beast on their own. It's their rules, it's their platform, right? So we were selling a lot of product to customers that were selling again on Amazon.
Okay.
And again, it's a challenge. We don't know what's going to sell. I could buy 10 widgets and take a punt and go, they might, you know, because we would have a major retailer ring us up and go, we've overbought this Bluetooth headset. We've bought too many. We bought 10,000 of these Bluetooth headsets. We were going to put them in the shops. We put them in the shops and we thought we'd sell loads, and I've got 7,000 left. Can you help me out? So I'd go and buy that stock. Okay. And then sell it back into the market. But again, it's a challenge because, and also retailers make mistakes. They always make mistakes. So I'm sitting there going, well, I'll help you out, but you've got to take a pill. It's not going to be what you paid for it. It's got to be less because everyone's got to eat. So there's lots of challenges. Supply chains got harder, and then they got a lot. You know, things changed. When there was so many products, you make more mistakes.
I can imagine.
When there's less products, less consumer choice, less mistakes.
I can imagine though as well with the devices. You mentioned you put in essentially sometimes 3 devices together to make one device. When you've got a smaller supply of devices, it's probably easier, is it, to make one of those phones because you.
Yes, but then the market changes, the value changes. A lot of people think that a used broken mobile phone goes to a third world country, right? And a lot of people used to say to me, "Oh, you know, where'd you send all your old rubbish phones? You know, do you send them to Africa?" I went, "They don't want them."
Oh, really?
They never have done.
Wow.
They've got more latest phones than we do.
I can imagine.
Right? It normally goes into China, and it normally gets broken down.
I was going to say,
they can break the phone. I mean, I've been to China where they've got boxes of screws, literally tiny screws that they're selling, and they've taken them all from phones. Wow. So it gets broken down in the Far East. The whole landscape changed. Yeah, and it's going to change, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, change is good in a way as well, isn't it?
This podcast is brought to you by Boodle, the cardless payment solution which offers significantly reduced fees, instant settlement of funds, and eradicates fraud and chargebacks. Boodle can sit on your e-commerce checkout as an alternative payment solution, or can offer clients a fully customized payment portal to send out payment links. What's better is that Boodle rewards customers with redeemable points every time they check out. If you haven't already, get onto the App Store and download Boodle now. But then with this company, there was obviously a pivotal moment when it sort of came to an end, I believe. So talk us through that period. I know you've already given us some insight, and then to the period after that and what.
Yes, so for the first 6 months, 2019, I've left it to my legal team to sort out the shares and the money that I'm owed and whatever. And I've sort of started speaking to people, meeting my friends, spending time with family. And then we have lockdown.
Oh, wow.
We went into lockdown. So COVID's hit, we're into lockdown. And from there, I've sort of got a bit of my buzz back.
Okay.
And I sort of started talking, and me and Yanni have been friends for 10 years or whatever, and we had a mutual friend, and he was making face cloths, and face cloths being a material with logos and branding. Mm-hmm. So I thought, hold on, we should do this for companies. So from home, I've set up a business, employed people, and we're now making face cloths for companies. So companies are going, well, we can't get face masks, they don't look particularly great, let's give them something. So, and they're branded.
Yeah.
And we were doing face cloths all over the country, giving people face cloths with branding on it. We even did one of the franchises for McDonald's.
Wow. So how are you winning? I know obviously you've got a lot of contacts, connections, but how are you winning these these businesses and contracts?
I just put it out. Put it out. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, and it's word of mouth.
Okay.
People go, and you've got to bear in mind, I've built up a good network of people over the years. I go, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. And they went, really? Because I know someone. And it just, good people recommend good people, and good things happen if you do it the right way. And it just grew. It just absolutely flew. And the face mask business, it just kept on going and going and going. And obviously, I knew naturally it's going to stop. So you couldn't build the business up forever, amen, and employ too many people. You know the bubble's going to burst. But throughout that period as well, I got introduced to Aaron Lambo and a chap called Ollie. Now, for people that don't know Aaron Lambo is a bodybuilder from Northampton, tattoos on his face, absolutely always gets in trouble with the police, and but has a supplement business, right? So he sells supplements by the truckload. I got introduced to him and Ollie, and the plan was they wanted to launch an energy drink.
Okay.
So we sat down and they went, well, we've been introduced to you because you're the man that can make things happen. I was like, okay, what do I know about energy drinks? But one thing I do know is I know one of the things, I have a thing called the 3 Ps. Okay, so people I work with, process, product. Product's the last thing. I don't care about the product. So it's the people. So first of all, I'm looking at Aaron and going, I want to be a partner with you. And I'm like, okay. But outside of the
exterior and
different guy, but he's a business guy. He's a clever guy. He knows what he's doing. Ollie, clever guy, clever marketeer. Sat around a table, well, virtually, so to speak. And we've decided we want to do this energy drink. And we went to town. Within 21 days, we launched our first drink.
21 days?
21 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, where are you finding the suppliers, manufacturers? Is that all
in the UK?
Connections as well?
Yep. Friends of friends. Wow. Do you know someone who does this? Yep. Do that. And there's nothing better than you being recommended because they know that it's serious.
Yeah.
And people went, and without sounding too braggish, it's Bav. He'll make it happen. He'll do it. It's not. Oh yeah, but it's a messer.
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to pay you, I'm going to pay you. If I'm going to say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. And if I say I can't do it, I just can't do it. I just put my hands up.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did the first round of drinks. Amazing, successful. Sold in a weekend.
Wow.
Done.
And what was the brand called?
Mental Energy.
Okay, nice.
We've done it again and again and again, and we kept on doing it. This is brilliant.
So where were you selling it? Where were you selling this?
All online.
All online. No retailers at all.
Not one retailer.
Wow.
And we actually did that on purpose.
Okay. And is this, and in terms of selling it all via sort of social channels, obviously
because Aaron had his own channel, his own customer base that were
Mm-hmm.
buying protein shakes and stuff anyway. So we just threw it all through there, and we just promoted the hell out of it.
Wow.
And we didn't want to do it into retail. And let me explain why. Because we've made this product. It's made in the UK, so it's not the cheapest production.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could make 5 pence a can and sell it into Tesco's.
Yeah.
Have all the headache, rebates, this, 90 days credit, whatever. Or I could sell it ourselves and we'll make a healthier profit.
Yeah.
Less headache, less aggravation, and we have control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did.
Wow. But this was during COVID as well, was it?
Correct.
And you know, obviously there was this huge conundrum of, you know, logistics and shipping and at the time.
It's all rubbish.
But
Listen,
that
if you wanted to make things happen, you can make things happen.
Yeah. No problems with that. Wow.
Our last run was $250,000.
Wow.
We went to a big company called Ball. Now, if you look at a can, half the cans in the world are made by Ball, and we've got in there going, right, we want to. Yeah. We're the big boys now. You're doing really well. They went $250,000. The queue's over there.
Wow.
We do $1 million a month. You know, they do $1 million a day.
Wow.
Right, $1 million a day. He says, if we want to stop production and do your cans, $250,000, we're going to have to stop a lot of work. So you're going to have to wait. So we did. We waited. Yeah. They made the cans. We did it. We've done really well. And now we're talking to manufacturing about doing it again. Wow. And changing it up.
Nice. And you still involved then in this business?
Yeah, still involved. Yeah. The three of us. We have regular meetings.
Brilliant.
Still involved, but we haven't put anything more into production, and that's what we're working on now. Because we did a full fat, full vitamin, full energy drink version. Now we are looking at doing something a bit more sugar-free, a bit more healthy, a bit more lifestyle, and that's what we're working on now.
Oh, amazing. Brilliant. Yeah. And how many people in the business is...
3 of us.
Still 3, wow. Doing everything. Love it.
Logistics was outsourced, manufacturing was outsourced, design was... everything was outsourced. We've still got the people that work with us during lockdown, so we just work with them.
Mega. Love that. That.
Well, keep it all in-house.
Story. Yeah, great. So talk me through that then. Obviously, I know the sort of follow-on story, but from there then what happens? Obviously, you're still doing that. You're doing that on as a full-time side thing. You know, obviously there's energy going into other things like property, but when does the conversation with Yanni, obviously you're already doing the face mask, but when does it evolve from just face mask?
Yeah, so face mask dissipated, because obviously that's what happened. The energy drink was flying, it was great. And then a friend of mine said to me, he had a one-man band marketing agency.
Okay.
So I said to him, look, I'll help you out. Let's get an office. I could use some of the work, because we were outsourcing.
Yeah.
I could use you to do some work and build what you're doing. And that's what I started. So during lockdown, I got an office, like a WeWork serviced office. Yeah. Started building a team as a marketing agency.
Okay.
And we built the marketing agency, and we were doing work for ourselves and for the stuff So if I had invested in your company, I'll go, well, there's no point us going to get someone else to do the graphic design. I've got my own team; they'll do it, and it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
So built that team up, and we started doing my own internal work, but then people were saying to me, can you just do that for me? So we ended up building websites for people, doing marketing and designs and logos, and we ended up doing work for all sorts. We did stuff for Slazenger and Aston Martin and Porsche, and photo shoots for this and branding, and we did loads of other stuff. And through that, what had happened was an opportunity came across for me to get involved in a competition business.
Okay.
And I looked at the business, and there's 2 guys running it, and I went, well, guys, this is going to cost you a hell of a lot in marketing, paid ads and whatever. So long story short, we ended up I said, look, let me speak to Yanni, maybe he'll get involved and whatever. Spoke to Yanni. They said, look, we'll do something, put something together. And very quickly, we ended up buying those guys out. And then me and Yanni became partners.
Nice.
Initially on the premise of the competition business and starting it, but then we became partners in everything. Yeah. So we restructured the group.
Very quickly, I take it the business wasn't called Yiannamize Competitions before you.
Oh, it was called All Sorts before. It was called All Sorts.
So rebrand. And everything else,
So Yiannamize the journey with me and Yanni have known each other for years. So I sat down and said, look, let's restructure the group, let's restructure the business, and let's focus on different parts. So we've got wrapping, media, we've got merchandise, and now we've got competitions. And obviously now we're, looking at doing the Yiannamize Grand Tour. So there's lots of other activity that we do. Okay. So we're equal partners in everything. Everything. The world of Yiannamize, we're equal partners. And it's a great journey. It's totally different. I can't call it work. I'm cheating by calling it work. It has its challenges, but it's on the whole, compared to what I was doing and the stress and the pressure, and it's one of the things I would say to anybody. If you're in an environment and it's not a great environment, if it's a bit of a toxic environment, get out. It's not good for your soul. But now it's different. I enjoy, I could never do this. I could never, not a hope in hell. Never going to happen. And these are the types of restrictions that I would have. So now our journey is cooking.
So talk us through. So you essentially acquire this competitions merchant. And then do you acquire the media, or is it essentially you've just spun that up, and that's obviously
we just spun it up.
You bred that. Okay.
Yeah, we just grew that. Now, what happened was the team that I had in that were doing the marketing.
Okay.
I then engulfed them into Yiannamize.
Okay.
Because there's no point doing work for other people. We needed more people to do work for ourselves. So we just grew the team.
Amazing.
So we just grew the team. So we have Milton Keynes, Enfield, and Weybridge.
Amazing. And how many's total in the team?
Now all of us all together, there's 22.
Okay.
And
what does talk to me? Obviously, understand the competition element. There's the media arm. What does that sort of focus on, and what's the goal and the aim of that part of the business?
So the media arm, which is run by Gus, he's the creative director there. His job is to put the content out, right? To create these amazing ideas, create content, look at what we do, where we put the content out, and stick it all together. So that's the Yiannamize media element of it. And obviously we do brand deals with people. People come to us and they want exposure. And they want us to do videos for them. They want to do collaborative videos. They want us to do content for just them. What people don't realise is that people come to us and go, can you create videos? But it's not a Yiannamize video, it's our video. So we do a lot of work for other people.
Okay, nice.
So we do that, but predominantly it's all our work and what we do. We created a white wall and a green screen and all the area in Enfield, so we can do stuff and even rent it out if we needed to. So it's quite interesting times.
Amazing.
Our biggest focus now, I guess, it's the Yiannamize Grand Tour.
Oh, nice. And what's that going to consist of then?
So 50 cars, drive through Europe. Driving roads, party, fun, good people, celebrities, the whole lot.
Are you taking your car or?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, if you needed a spare driver.
You're volunteering, right? That hard job, right?
Put myself forward. But it sounds like you've got a lot going on, not only now, but back then. You've got the energy drinks, you've got Yiannamize, the competitions, media, etc. Talk to us about Ideal World TV. So when did that come in and how did that come about?
So February last year.
Okay.
I'm in the office
and which office is this, by the way? Is this Yiannamize office?
I'm in the Yiannamize Weybridge office. I'm in the Yiannamize Weybridge office. I get a WhatsApp, and it's do you know anything about TV shopping? No. Do you want to buy a stake in a TV shopping channel? Might be. Can I have more details? Yeah. Within 15 minutes, I've got all the data. The company's a mess. It needs this. It needs that. And I went, yeah, fine. I'll have a go.
That's simple.
Via WhatsApp.
Wow.
It was literally via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It was. Listen, this is what it is. Do you know it? What do you think? I went, okay. It's salvageable. Something can happen. And why not?
Wow. So talk us through Ideal World TV. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know what that is, but talk us through the business, what it was then, when you sort of came into the business and acquired your stake in there, to obviously your exit, which was to Frasers Group.
Yeah.
So talk us through that period. So February, you get this text.
So the
agreed.
business. So I get this text, and I'm looking at the business, and I'm literally, it is all off a fag bucket, right?
Yeah.
So you gut feeling. This business has been going 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's broadcasting as a TV shopping channel. It was QVC's biggest competitor. So it's got Sky, Virgin, Freeview, right? It's on 24/7 in the UK. And also it's got ITV midnight till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Right? So it's out there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a 20-year-old business based in Peterborough and circa 500 staff. And it was owned by a German bank. So it was owned by a German investment bank and run in the UK. And I can only describe it as through mismanagement. The German banks decided to chop it up and sell it off, and they sold one part of it off to a rival competitor.
Okay. What part of that was?
That was the create and craft element. So
Okay.
they had two channels as such. They had one where it was day-to-day stuff, and the other stuff was create and craft, a lot of creative stuff. They sold that off because that's what they thought the asset was, and they were going to close the doors.
Wow.
So when I got the phone call, it was they're bolting the doors.
Wow.
We could have a go there. We could get it back and running.
Yeah.
So we did. In March, I've gone. So this is done in days,
Wow.
like 2-3 days. It's done.
And was it you and someone else you mentioned?
Yeah. So there was 3 of us involved in it in total, but only 2 of us are active in the business.
Okay.
The third is another friend of mine. He just went, look, I'll get involved, but he was more strategic in the sense that he could help with a lot of the sourcing and products.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very strategic. We didn't need the money. We needed the right people.
Yeah.
And I said this earlier. For me, it was making sure the right people were in the right place. I didn't need that third person. I wanted that third person because he could bring something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I brought something to the table. Everyone brought something to the table. So I've gone up there in March, and me being me, bull in a china shop, and I've gone, right, what's going on? Where is everyone? First meeting, right? Yeah. So the third person is now the CEO. I've become COO because that's what I do operationally. I go in there, and that gave me a remit to talk to and do everything, right? And so I've gone in there, first meeting. This is within a week of me, this deal going through. And I think he's classed as the warehouse and operations manager. Chatting, he goes, we need to sit and talk about the insurance. I said, what? Yeah, we need to sit and talk about the insurance. I said, well, what do you mean the insurance? He goes, well, we need to sort it out. What do you mean we need to sort it out? Where's the insurance? He goes, yeah, that's what we need to sort out. I went, no one's going home until we sort this out. They had such a lapsy-daisy attitude to everything.
Yeah.
Nothing was urgent. I went, what do you mean? What do you mean we've got to sort this out? I opened the insurance policy.
Expired.
And there's not only that, but it's not expired, but it's not done right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You can't run a business like this. This is a multi-million, it's an 18 million pound business, right?
Yeah.
Why would you run it like this? And I found, in instant from day one, no POs got signed. No one got paid until I checked it and approved it. Simple as that. So, and the stuff that was going through, it was horrific.
Wow.
Horrific. I'll give you a real simple example. They wanted to order some new clothing.
Yeah.
And the person goes to me, I want to order some new clothing. We need new logos, new t-shirts for the staff in the warehouse, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you've got to do it. Yeah. I said, okay, so he goes, well, we use this company. I said, yeah, cool. How long did they take? How long did they say? 2 to 3 weeks. I said, okay. And what do they give you as a price? This is the price. And I've gone, jeez, it's like, this is expensive.
Yeah.
Really? Is this the right stuff? I mean, this is like Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. And I'm like, really? And 3 weeks? She went, yeah, but they're really good. I went, no. This has got to stop, right? And I said, can you ring this guy? Tell him you've got the number from me. Yeah. Tell him what you need, because the product's the same.
Yeah,
materials
exactly. All the same. Yeah.
Tell him this is what you need, and tell him you need it ASAP, and tell him to give you a price. So she's come back to me and she's gone, it can't be true. So what do you mean it can't be true? She goes, he told me I can have a lot of the clothes within 2 days. And he goes, it's the same stuff. And I don't believe it because it won't be the same quality. I mean, well, you haven't tried it. You know, you haven't even seen it. No, and the price does not work. It can't be right. He says, this is too good to be true. It's a third of the price.
Yeah.
Third of the price. I mean, look, we're not going to pay him because he's not going to want any money from me. He trusts me.
Yeah.
Get the stuff you need. If it's no good, I'll have a chat with him and I'll deal with it. And I'll pay for it personally.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a big thing. No, it's not going to be right, but I'm going to do it anyway because you said so. I would do it because you... I can't just go and do it. Comes back next 2 days, 3 days later. She went, that guy's so good, isn't he? I mean, what do you mean? She went, oh, he's amazing. He called me back. He dealt with it. My stuff's here. My staff are in the uniform. Third cheaper. And I went, this is where this business went wrong.
Yeah. Just the lack of management.
Why do you do it that way?
Yeah.
Why do you order from him? We've always ordered from him. And people are out there just milking them. IT contracts for software that was never implemented that they were paying.
God.
Figure that out.
Yeah, well, I can imagine the...
There's lots of things that I had to go through, lots of changes. You know, they never did social media. It was poor. I said, well, how are you going to get new customers? You know, you're appealing right now to someone who's sat at home. And I hate to say this, it's a dying audience.
Yeah.
Do you watch TV live? Very rarely.
Yeah, exactly.
You're streaming, aren't you?
100%, yeah.
I mean, listen, if I want to watch something, I'll Sky record it or it's Netflix and I'll watch it when I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I said, it's a dying breed. People just sitting there waiting for someone to sell something to them. You've got to evolve. You've got to promote. And there was a lot of changes. Yeah, a lot of changes.
I can imagine.
So yeah, look, I was there. I was always the one that, and I made people accountable. And I think that's the main thing, making people accountable.
So you did. So let's go back. You took over the business then in that February. Was the plan always to do a turnaround, or was it potentially to stay longer? Were you just analysing as you went?
Analysing as I went. Okay. I would have liked to have stayed longer, and it was a turnaround, and things were changing. There was a commercial team with about 60 people in there, and we briefly spoke about this earlier. We would have a Teams call at 9:30 in the morning, right? And I'm new to this. This is a corporate world. It's a different business. It's you know, and I'm being told just be patient. Just you can't rattle everyone's. You can't go and knock on everyone's door and rattle everyone's cage overnight. Just chill because you're upsetting a lot of people because it's like, oh my God. You know, I think one of them called me the Tasmanian devil, right? Because I got it done. I got stuff done, right? So I've opened my IT have given me a laptop. I've opened this Surface or whatever, and I've logged into Teams, and there's 60 people or 70 people invited, and there's about 30 people in. So first of all, I'm thinking, where is everyone else? Because I'm paying their wages, right? Where are they? That's a good a big chunk of not there. And there's Teams calls going on. And someone's gone in there and blurted out the speech, and this is what we're doing, this is what happened yesterday, because it's all about yesterday. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what happened yesterday, this is what we did yesterday, this is what we did yesterday, and right now I'm going to pass you to different departments, because we had several departments that had different product sets. So you'd have clothing, you'd have electronics, you'd have beauty, you'd have homeware, etc., etc. You'd have customer services, have IT and email, or the web team would. Everyone had their bit to speak about what they did yesterday. How did yesterday work? And I'm sitting there going, well, where are all these people? Some of them are actually in the office next door to each other. I'm like, this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So I said, look, let's try and change this up. There was a massive area in the office upstairs. I cleared it all out. I got the teams and the warehouse guys. I said, look, just clear all this crap out, clear all the desks out. We bought a load of rattan furniture up from the warehouse because we had loads of it. And I made an area fit for around 40 people.
Nice.
I said, this is where we have the meeting. If you can't come to this meeting, then you dial in. And also the commercial team, I said, you all need to start coming into the office. We're a TV shopping channel. There's only so much you can do from home. I said, you all need to start coming in. A lot of pushback.
I can imagine.
A lot of pushback. And I'm like, well, let's have a compromise. If someone from each team needs to be in.
Yeah.
So you need to have a senior member of the team in and another junior, or you need to have some presence, because what happens is if we're broadcasting live and we're selling this jumper and it runs out, or we've got another colour, or we've got something, they need to talk to the buying team, they need to talk to the commercial team and go, where are we at, what we're doing, or they come upstairs and go, what can we do? If there's no one there, they can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of that was cultural change and shift,
mindsets,
but accountability. They never had a big thing on accountability.
I can imagine.
Now, I said to them, look, guys, you sit here for, this meeting's on for 35, 40 minutes. I said, you sit here for 28 minutes talking about yesterday. And then you talk about, you spend 5 minutes talking about today and what we're going to do. I guess, can we switch it? And the analogy I used is when you have a car, how big's your rear view mirror?
Well, not very big, is it? Really?
Compared to your windscreen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I said, we will look back that much.
Yeah.
I want to look forward.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going to happen today. Tell me what you're going to do today. Tell me what help you need from everyone around you to make it a success. Tell me what we're going to do, what we're looking at, what's new. I know what went wrong yesterday, because if it was catastrophic, I get a message and a call. I guess I get yesterday. We can all read yesterday. That's a 2 minute. That's done. Talk to me about what's going on. Tell me something that you're working on. Tell me something that's new, because it was very, we've done nothing new recently. So talk to me about new. We've just done a night campaign. Great, amazing. We've got this campaign going on. We've got this product.
Yeah.
This is what we needed to change. And then when we used to have buyers meetings, I'd say, well, what's new? What new suppliers have you spoken to? What new vendors have you engaged with? What new things? It was so done it yesterday, do it again tomorrow. And I'm like, you're never going to...
Rinse and repeat sort of method.
It is literally rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And then the whole customer service element. So I rebranded customer services straight away to customer experience.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I was horrific. I was horrified when they said the average turnaround time for a customer complaint was 4 days. Wow. I turned it into 4 minutes. And the reason I wanted it quick, because they said, we don't have the sign off. I said, well, we are spending so much money trying to get the customers, and you could lose them like that.
Yeah.
I said, spun it around. Customer experience team, gave them some autonomy and helped them drive it. And that was the journey. We had a call center in India, not fit for purpose.
Okay.
And I wanted to move it all over to UK or Ireland.
Yeah.
And that's at that point. So I'm there all day, every day. So I'm driving up on Monday. I'm there Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I'm away from home.
Wow.
And it's 24/7. It is literally, it's full on. There's no stopping. There's no breaks. There's no nothing. You've got 200 plus people, and Teams is the devil, and it's big. And we're broadcasting, right? So I see something on the screen. Now, one of the simple things I said, guys, when you're in something, you don't realise what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let's step back. As a human being, as a consumer, I look at the screen, I look at the TV, it says free P&P. Now, most people will get free postage and packing, right? Yeah. But why not make it simple? Just put free delivery.
Yeah.
It's not hard, is it? Yeah. Because for the 10 or 15% that don't know what that is, or might not know what that is, just make it even easier, free delivery. Oh, yeah. That'll take us ages to change on the TV. Why? Because we've got to go around the houses. It got done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Simple job,
it was
really.
Just this whole paper shuffling exercise and whatever. But yeah, so it was a full-on situation. August, I'm away on holiday. Phone is red hot still. It's like...
Is this a year and a half after?
No, it's just 6 months.
Oh, right. I thought it was... wow.
So I'm 6 months. So February I'm in, March I'm in the building.
Yeah.
This is August. I've decided to go on holiday.
Yeah.
It's a planned holiday. So... And I've said to my wife, I can't do this anymore. It's too much.
Oh, really?
Pushback was too much. The need for change was there, but the willingness to change was not always there. And I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need it. I've enjoyed it. I've learnt a lot. I don't need it. So, long story short, conversations were had, and I sold my shares while I was on holiday.
Oh wow, that quick?
To the Frasers Group, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't go back into the building.
Did you not?
No. The team went in there to
They probably still think you're on holiday.
Yeah. The team went in, and the team went in to do due diligence while I was away. I got back from holiday, and I was home for a week and just doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And deal was done.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and then it was like literally, where are you? Well, I'm not there anymore. I've sold. I'm done. I'm out. No, you can't do that to us. You know, we need you here. You know, because we need someone to help.
Yeah.
Because there was no one there running the ship.
Yeah. Were the other two guys who'd come in at the day exit as well, or they?
One of them did. One of them
stayed. Wow.
And stayed to date.
Okay. Wow. So from your experience there, obviously, sounds like you've not only implemented a lot, learned a lot, but you've had two big moments here in terms of you've built a business from the ground up and grew it to a really, really big business, fast track times 5 times you said, and then this is a completely different. You've gone into a big organisation. First of all, which would you say, and I think I know your answer, is easier to deal with, and which did you learn more from?
Both. They're both comparable, in being honest with you.
Yeah.
They're really both comparable, because I'll bring it back to people first, right? When I went into Ideal World, I looked at the people.
Yeah.
I didn't care what the product was. My first thing was the people. Do I like you? Can I get on with you? Are you doing a good job, or are you having it away?
Yeah.
If you're just hiding, and not doing the job you're supposed to do, you can't work with me. You'll get found out.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I did very quickly. And people started getting hot under the collar. Oh, he's a bit harsh, isn't he? But I'm asking questions that you need to be answering.
Yeah.
If you're a department head, or if you're running a business, you need to know your stats and facts. Mm-hmm. You need to know what you're doing. You can't waffle me. You can't tell me, but nothing. No way. I'll find you out. So first of all, the right people. Second of all, process. Mm-hmm. No red tape. I hate red tape. There needs to be a process.
Yeah.
I get it, but let's make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing is the product. And that's the last thing.
Yeah.
It could be, we were selling pajamas. We were selling,
rattan furniture.
We were selling flowers. We were selling everything.
Yeah.
We'd have makeup one minute, and then next minute we're selling cooking stuff. Yeah. And so the product's irrelevant. If we had the right people doing the right job, the processes were correct, then you get the product right. Mm-hmm. And that's what worked. They both gave me equal learnings in different ways. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot in that corporate world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Still the same.
Equal learnings, equal challenges.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So we'll go on to sort of final few questions. Obviously, it sounds like you've got a lot going on at the moment as well. So what does the next 5 years look like for yourself?
So our journey with Yiannamize, so how can I describe it? So I call it the Beckham effect. Okay, so we are well known in the car environment. Okay. I call it the Beckham effect because you don't need to know anything about football to know David Beckham, right? So that's our aspiration, to get Yiannamize, the brand name, known and seen by as many people as physically possible. That's the goal.
Okay.
That's the ultimate goal. So some people would even see the brand and go, we don't even know you did wrapping cars.
Yeah.
That's where we need to get to.
Yeah.
We're known, that was our first thing.
Yeah.
But we don't care. We want the brand name everywhere. So yes, we're going to do the Yiannamize Grand Tour, which is a tour around Europe. We've started doing Yiannamize meets to get people in communities together.
Nice.
We're doing something with Nike, which is quite exciting.
Wow.
To do with young people and football.
Brilliant.
Again, absolutely nothing to do with cars, but the brand.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get the brand everywhere.
Brilliant. And with that in mind then, sorry to sort of interject there, is everything now, obviously you're in a position where financial incentive is probably not the main goal and driver anymore because you've done very, very, very well. Does everything that you do you still act with a commercial mindset? What I'm trying to say is, for example, the Nike thing, will it might increase the brand's presence, awareness, but from a financial point of view, it might not make the business the most money. Is that like, how do you think your sort of mindset
you noticed I was Indian, right? So money's at the heart of it, right?
Yeah.
So money's first, right?
Yeah,
so it's got to make money.
Okay.
If it doesn't look, not everything makes money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that, but it's got to have a value.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. It's got to have a value. So it might have a brand value,
Mm-hmm.
but it might not have a financial value, but it has a value.
Okay.
So something it's got to hit no vanity exercises.
Yeah.
I don't know if a big brand came to us and said, "Oh, we want to do this and wear this," and we're like, no, unless it's going to add equal brand value and there's value in it, we wouldn't do it.
Okay.
But it's got to work for both of us.
Yeah,
I've sat in meetings, and we've done a deal with Mercedes-Benz, for example. And I've gone, well, what do you need? Because it's not just about what I need.
Yeah,
so let's work together and do something together. And that's how we work it.
Amazing. Brilliant.
But yeah.
And the final question then. So let's go back to the early years.
Yeah.
You have, obviously all this experience now. What is that one piece of advice you'd give yourself setting up and other entrepreneurs setting up a business?
Entrepreneurs, that's a whole new question in itself, isn't it?
Or just anyone looking to set up a business. What is the sort of one piece of key advice you'd give them?
The advice I'd give myself and to anyone that's out there that is looking to do something or be an entrepreneur or try and do something, or even if they're in a job, don't be a know-it-all. You don't know it all, and be prepared to listen and learn. Mm-hmm. If I had listened and learned even more, I'd have shaved years of experience. I'd have shaved years and got a lot faster. You know what it is? People don't want it. People think they know it all, and they're not prepared to listen and learn. And you need to listen and learn. Even me, I'm still learning, and that's key.
Yeah,
that's key. There's too many people out there think they know it all, and they don't. They might think they do, but they don't. Even now, I'm still every day learning, and. I'll learn to the day I die.
Love it. Two ears, one mouth, and all that.
In that proportion, 100%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love it. Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Amazing story, and wish you all the success in the future as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.